Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Justine with State of Grace Tarot, and today I have a VR. It's a little bit of an older VR, but it looks so fun. I wanted to join in on it. It was created by, let me see, Tempest Getchell, sorry. Tempest Getchell. And this is the Living in Tarot, what tarot decks would I live in? I do feel like on any given day, I would want to step in and live in most of my tarot decks. I do really like pretty much every deck that I have. So I did come up with kind of a ranking system. I do have 5 decks here. And the ranking system that I picked was how long would I stay in these decks? So I have a deck I would, take a day trip into. I have a deck that I would like to spend a long weekend in, maybe like a 3-day weekend. I have a deck that I would take a longer vacation in, maybe a week or 2. And then I have a deck that I would think about buying a vacation home in, a deck I would spend my free time in, but not want to live there full time. And then I have a deck that I think I found that I would buy my forever home in. So the first deck I have is kind of fun. I don't know if it's available anymore, so sorry about that. I found it on Etsy. And I believe the person who, I got the card, who creates these decks, Bobby's Tarot Decks, unique tarot decks based on vintage art. So this is my deck I would take a day trip into, and it is vintage cowboy comics. So I think it would be so fun to, take a step back into the Wild West and step into this deck. It seems, like a lot of fun and there's action, but it seems like it would also be a little bit stressful. So I probably wouldn't want to live here, but get in the car, take a road trip, go hang out with some cowboys. I think it would be so fun, get a little rowdy and go from there. So I thought this would be a fun deck to take a day trip in. I honestly haven't worked with this deck much. I think it might be, a pretty good, fun summer deck for me, actually. It is pretty fun, but if you like decks like this and you want a similar deck, go check out Bobby's Tarot Decks because he has some fun things on there. I think I have 1 or 2 other decks of his that I really enjoy. The Empress. Awesome. So that is the day trip. I would take a trip in to vintage cowboy land. Let's see. So for a deck that I would spend a long weekend in, you'll see a theme here. That is the Desert's Illumination Tarot. And I guess probably similar vibe to the Vintage Cowboy Tarot, but I would spend a little bit more time here. I mean, come on, you get to meet some aliens, some interesting characters. It feels like it would be a good trip, some trippy fun for sure. I think you'd have a good time in this deck for sure. I really enjoy all the bright colors and everybody kind of looks happy. I mean, look at that devil. He looks crazy. So I think it would be fun to step into this deck and be one of the characters here. And, you know, I have a thing about being in the desert, so I do really enjoy the desert motif here. So I think if I could, I would move to, I don't know, Arizona and live my life there. So that's my long weekend deck. The next deck is where I would take a long vacation, and that is the Magical Creatures Tarot. I love this deck. I love all the creatures. I mean, the colors are so bright. I mean, you have a gingerbread house you can stay in. Maybe you can Airbnb it. But the colors are so bright and saturated, and there's all these creatures that look, you know, friendly and fun that might help a girl out. I think it would be so fun to live here in this land of magical creatures for a long vacation. Maybe I can take a sabbatical off of work and just take a trip and hang out with these dudes. So that's my long vacation deck. And you have all the things you need: cauldron, wardrobe. So that is the Magical Creatures Tarot. The next deck is a deck that I would buy a vacation home in, and so where I would want to spend a lot of my free time, but I wouldn't want to live here full time, and that is the White Newman Tarot. I really like this deck. I feel like it is so connected to nature. I love the colors and the people in this deck. I feel like I could spend my spare time getting to know these people, traveling this land, and really enjoying being one with the elements here. I feel like everybody is connected to the earth, and that's where I would want to be. So this is my vacation home deck. And that is the White Newman. So the next deck is a deck that I would buy my forever home in. Like, I'm moving in here and you can't stop me. I'm building a house. And that is the Journey Tarot. I love this deck. I love the world that it's in. I love all the like magical and whimsical things that are going on. Similar to the White Newman, it's people feel connected to the elements and really connected to the world they live in. But there's some fun and magical things that happen. Look, like Six of Air, a staircase through a doorway. And I just feel like this is a whimsical place, but it has such knowledge and power. I feel like you could spend a lifetime exploring here, out in nature, in this house or castle, getting to know the trees. Sorry if you can hear my dogs in the background. So yeah, this is the deck that I would spend my time in and build my forever home. I mean, look, the Magician and the High Priestess, they're basically living in a library. Who wouldn't want to live in a library? I love it. So if I was living in the tarot, this is where you could find me. Let me know your thoughts. What decks would you live in if you could, if you haven't already put your VR out there? I really like, kind of ranking them, like how much time you would spend in them. So let me know if you would consider spending time in any of these decks, or if you have other decks that you would love to spend your time in. Thank you all so much for joining me today, and I will see you again soon.